welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. Where have I heard that song before that was just playing? I heard it someplace.
In my dreams.
I don't know. In your dreams. Beep, beep, beep. Which is when we do the show.
Yes.
Every morning, every Saturday at 11. That's when we do the show.
Yes, and that's why
fresh.
It airs then
It's
live,
fresh.
right?
Yes. You know, your hair looks a lot better than it did yesterday.
No, well,
yesterday you looked like the Cowardly Lion. Today you look like the Wizard of Oz.
Look at all the humidity we've been having. Unfortunately,
actually, you can look at humidity.
Unfortunately, my hairdresser, Lita Lujan, at Jen's Barber Spa,
yes.
Well, she hasn't been doing my hair for the past month or so because she's been in the hospital, unfortunately. Get well, Lita. So she used to make me TV ready. Now I'm just radio ready. And this humidity is just making my hair what you see today.
Maybe we should do a show that's just radio. We'll just talk and you just hear the sound and there's nothing there. It's black.
Oh,
because we've already done the last thing. Yes, now, but we won't mention that.
Now, I mentioned the humidity with my hair, Michael. It's also extremely hot. It's like 99, 100 degrees.
You're telling me I'm wearing a
coat and a tie. Why is that?
It's because we're in this wonderful studio environment where it's 62 degrees so that the tape, you know, that we tape this stuff on because we use that tape.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we tape the show. That melts at a high temperature. You don't want sagging tape.
Well,
you don't want your tape to sag.
That's because we're cheap. We use Scotch tape.
Yes. Well, Scotch, we should have used British tape.
That's right.
It would have been
some
better.
Irish tape would have been better. But you say you claim
I wear this.
You wear this. Why?
Why? Because Dave Letterman is off TV, and he's got all these suits that he's not using, and I figured in fact, that's how we decided many weeks ago, you and I, we decided together that this is what made David Letterman as famous and popular as he is. That he wore suits. Yes, because he discovered that secret.
So Johnny Carson was wearing suits. Merv Griffin
but those were older suits. He was wearing suits that were only 26 years old. Yes.
Well, if David Letterman was here today in this heat, he'd be wearing a T-shirt. Right, Dave?
Like you? You're wearing a T-shirt.
I'm wearing a T-shirt and a... Let me see a picture of David Letterman. I bet he's wearing a T-shirt. See,
no, he's wearing a T-shirt. Yes, and he's happy because he's not schwitzing. Well, he would never schwitz. He's from, where is he from? He's from Indiana.
From, Ball State. It's very humid there.
Ball State. They have Ball
Indianapolis.
The nerve of calling a college Ball State. I mean, really, what were they thinking? It's like Bird in the Hand, Pennsylvania.
I'm sure it's named after Mr. Ball.
Mr. Ball, huh? Who invented,
his
name was Spalding. Remember? Spalding Ball.
Yes.
His first name was Spalding. Yes, Ball. Anyway, this is where are we? Oh, it's the wonderful 4th of July.
Show.
Today is 4th of July.
Absolutely.
We can say that with great affirmation because we know what it is. You know, some people were telling me that, I won't mention names, but I heard it in 2 different places, that the Electric Light Parade was going to have fireworks. And
fireworks?
But they weren't. I mean, 2 people mentioned to me.
And the fireworks are tonight.
Yes.
Electric Light Parade was last night. They went fine without the rain, pretty much, and it was a good deal.
You could have seen fireworks last night if you had told your wife there was going to be fireworks and there weren't any. Oh, you know, they get so mad over.
No, you don't set them up and then let them down.
No, you don't do that. You let them down anyway.
In my neighborhood, there's fireworks every night anyway.
In your neighborhood or in your house?
Just set them off.
Oh, yeah. Us too. Any place where you have kids under the age of 35.
Right. So tonight, there's fireworks all over the place. Of course, the city of Las Cruces has a firework display out at the Field of Dreams on the west side of town.
Yes. We're hoping it's not going to be too crowded like it was last year. They seem to have averted whatever that problem might have been.
Last year was a nightmare.
It wasn't a Field of Dreams. It was Field of Nightmares.
Exactly. Don McLean was there. They wouldn't let people onto the field to watch you. They had to sit in the bleachers.
It's not him that wouldn't let it. It's the people
they wouldn't
on
let
the
people
field.
onto the field because they didn't want to mess up their brand new AstroTurf.
That's right, because you don't want people ruining your plastic.
And they didn't have the money to cover it.
We've been covered with bottles.
So this year
soda.
they're moving it from the football field into the soccer field.
Because nobody cares about the soccer field.
Because it's grass.
Yes. Something to dig into with those little cleats.
It's going to be, I'm sure it'll be much nicer. I noticed there was a whole bunch of porta potties lined up. But last year parking was a nightmare. And the worst part was getting out. So it took some people an hour and a half just to get out of the area because they only had one exit for some reason.
Yeah. For safety.
I don't know how
2
many,
exits. And,
how many committees set these things up? If you want anything done wrong, let a committee do it.
A committee of government workers.
Oh, God.
That's how that would
Las
work.
Cruces government workers.
Yes, and the other fireworks that's local would be in Mesilla.
In Mesilla. Yes, now I got to tell you, I was in Mesilla yesterday. Now they're going to have fireworks.
Thanks for going all over the city for us.
There's going to be music on the plaza. There's going to be all kinds of hoopla going on over there.
And that'll never be crowded.
And the roads are blocked off. They're under construction.
Ooh,
There is no parking in Mesilla. So what committee came up with this brilliant concept?
Well, it wasn't the guy who owns Double Eagle, that's for sure, because he's
course,
arguing
everybody
about not getting any parking for his place. Where do people park? There's the parking lot for La Posta, and then there's elsewhere.
And that's for La Posta.
Along the highway.
Then there's just the
along
streets.
highway.
Well, the street between La Posta, between El Patio and Emilia's is blocked off.
Can't
so
do
you
that.
can't park there.
there. Notice red, white, and blue. Although that's yellow.
I'm sorry, that's your
yellow.
gay marriage
Oh, that's
tie.
right. That's my
your rainbow tie.
support of LGBT and other colors.
We'll get to that later.
That's like Roy G. Biv. LGBT, Roy G. Biv. Yeah.
So also,
what are we getting
there's
to?
also fireworks tonight at Elephant Butte Lake.
As well as probably Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Silver City.
Cloudcroft's got big doings going on.
Juarez.
And let's not forget.
You didn't say no about Juarez. What?
Who knows? But no, it's not their Independence Day.
Really? They live right next to us. It's like your neighbor not celebrating Christmas.
They have a 4th of July in Mexico. Just like you have a 3rd and a 5th of July.
Yes,
but it's not their Independence Day.
And neither
we celebrate that here on a different day.
Neither is Cinco de Mayo their Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo is just a holiday.
No, 16th of September.
Yeah,
it's their Independence Day.
We just want to clarify that in case you're thinking of celebrating something.
But talking about big celebrations on this weekend, let's not forget our friends over in Roswell. Roswell has the big UFO
You have friends because
conference.
you've been abducted once or twice.
Well, I don't want to go into details, but the UFO festival in
on
Roswell
tape.
is one of the biggest festivals in the country, and they milk that alien thing for all it's worth.
You know why?
Not those aliens.
Not those. Different. Those aliens.
There we go.
You know why it's so big? Because they have parking. Because they're all space. Space ships. You don't have to drive there. You plunk your spaceship down. You go straight up and get the heck out of there. You don't have to worry about traffic.
Right. So come there. There'll be aliens. There'll be spaceships. These flying saucers. All kinds of big doings going on. They have a parade. It's a big deal over there in Roswell. Well, that's what the aliens look like,
I know, because you've seen them. I thought it was the other picture, the guy with the big eyes with
that was a large gray.
This is not a glandular problem. This is a problem of
Mr.
Mr. Burns putting all the radiation in the lake in The Simpsons. That's what that's from.
So, yeah, I've not been to the Roswell UFO Festival.
You should get a summer home there.
A summer home?
Yeah, it's probably at least a degree or two cooler than here.
Chavez County? Yeah, it probably is,
a degree or two.
Now, also there's music going on this weekend.
Is there?
There is.
There's
all around town.
Yes.
Including in Cloudcroft, Silver City, and here in Las Cruces.
Not necessarily those guys, but that's an example of what music looks like. That is like a Woody Guthrie album from Washington Square in New York.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had something like that going on here?
What, Washington Square?
No, it's in classic folk music.
Oh.
And
but we have other music. We have music at almost every bar in the city. De La Vega's is having stuff. Dublin's. One of my favorites, High Desert Brewery. The Palacio's having Fat Soul. That's a good group. That's a fun group.
Not to mention all the music at the city, at the Field of Dreams, the night before the fireworks.
Tons of music there.
Is it the Family Stone?
Just veg out without Sly.
Without Sly.
Poor Sly. But I'm sure they're noisy enough. I'm sure at least one original band member is in it.
I hope so.
I hope so. Mr. Stone
Somebody
himself.
named
Mr. Stone himself. The Stone family. That's what it's named after.
Right. So besides
I have our list here.
Besides the 4th of July festival,
yes,
we also, besides that season, we also have irrigation season upon us.
Oh.
The rivers flowing.
Is that what this says?
Unfortunately, I lament the loss of the rafter reel.
Yes,
I missed that.
You do lament it.
They have that every
you
June.
had so much fun that time you did it. Didn't you sink?
I love it.
Did you sink? You sunk, right?
You
couldn't get your raft in the water?
My raft was not seaworthy.
Or even river-worthy?
It wasn't river-worthy.
What did you make it out of?
Inner tubes. I had 4 inner tubes lashed together with a plywood top, and it kept just doing this. And I had no help. I just had to do it myself. And I had to assemble it on site because it didn't have a truck to take it there.
Yet
And it was a disaster.
Sawyer, it was Huck Finn who managed to float down the Mississippi, and the guy didn't have any of the technology that you have at hand, yet Huck Finn managed to float down the Mississippi.
He's my hero.
You should go reread the book just for its technical advice.
I should.
So you can learn. Now those rivers will be really easy to float down.
Well, it's irrigation season, like I said, and unfortunately at my house, the irrigation causes
That's a picture of your house.
Mosquitoes, because where I live in my neighborhood, all the houses have irrigation. And right now, my next door neighbors, 2 of them have pecan orchards, and they've irrigated them. Meanwhile, the level in the ditches doesn't go down because the gates upstream won't shut completely. So the water keeps seeping down and it doesn't dissipate or dry up. So we have the mosquito problem.
Shouldn't you complain more to the
I complain.
Elephant Butte thing
I complain
rather
to
than
Vector
our
Control.
TV viewers?
I complain to the
Vector Control.
I complained to the city.
Where are they, in a spaceship?
The county
What's
Vector Control.
Yeah.
And I complained also to the irrigation district.
And
You do what?
how long ago did you complain?
Last week.
And
To
what's
both.
happened? Let's hear a follow-up.
We have
something happened.
we kill mosquitoes in the house every day.
No,
Yeah.
kill mosquitoes. Yeah.
Oh, with the fly swatter. Yeah.
But luckily we do have water. Everybody who irrigates now has an extra 3 acre-feet,
Extra 3
whatever
acre-feet.
that means.
Because of the runoff, we have extra water in the lakes.
Yes, so that's a good thing. It's not as good as we'd like it, but we're doing better than California, which is going to dry up and crack off the edge of the continent.
Many places have already dried up. They have no groundwater. They have no drinking water. It has to be trucked in for those poor people.
They truck it in from the East Coast, which is has
And
never
flood conditions. Yeah.
it hasn't slowed down. It's been raining for a long time and doesn't abate.
Well, people keep saying we need to build pipelines to bring the oil down. I think we should bring the water from where it's wet to where it's
Yes,
dry.
Exactly.
Water is
That's what
more
they should do.
important than oil.
That's true, because oil can be substituted with solar energy and wind energy. Solar and wind energy move themselves. They're just out there. They don't need pipes to come
Yeah,
through.
they're free.
Sunzia may be changing its route.
Yes.
They had that problem.
Across
they were
White
supposed
Sands.
to go over White Sands. They may now change it. Who knows what special leverage was placed on them to consider that? I mean, I guess we'll see. This is why I tell people, you want to fight the government, you might as well get a real job.
You don't have to fight the government. You just pay off the government. They do what you want.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So anyway, what's next? Oh,
Well-
irrigation.
Our friend Mr. Calvillo,
Is that how we call him? Calvillo?
Nathan Calvillo? No.
He had his
Leonard Calvillo.
he had a trial. He was let off on his attempted murder and all
Home
bunch
invasion.
tough ones, which would give him life in prison. So far, he's only got enough
got
things
off.
like he got off. He still has enough things that could stick him back
Well,
in
the
jail
jury
for
found him
17
guilty.
years.
He was found not guilty in the initial trial, and he walked off. Do we have that picture of him smirking as they take
Dancing
him away?
off.
There he is. Now, I'm sure the judge saw him with that smirk on his face, knowing that the
Same.
jury
Gotta
somehow found him
get it for
guilty
something.
of crimes that he probably did, not guilty.
What is the penalty for smirking? What's the penalties? The
Well, if
smirking
the
penalty?
judge saw that, he could wind up with the 17 years that he may well get
He could.
for the other crimes he's guilty of, allegedly.
Adding on to this story, he was one of 4 people who attacked.
Invaded a house.
Yes. The other guy, what's his name? I have it up
Nathan
there.
Avalos.
Nathan Avalos is being searched for now because he threatened his girlfriend to murder her. So he's wanted. He's also wanted for, I guess, assault now. So if anybody sees him, just
Nathan
turn him
Avalos?
in. He's only a 21-year-old guy.
Is
And
there-
already this type of anger coming out of him. I mean, sure, you can be mad at your girlfriend, but you don't threaten to kill her.
Is there a reward after his arrest and conviction?
I would say the reward would be get him off the streets.
I
He
see.
sounds pretty dangerous. He has this first thing that he is still pending for. Now he's got a new thing, and now he's also flying in the air, so he could be off to Mexico.
Well, let's take a break right now and see if we can find him during that time.
He might be in the studio.
We will be right back after these vital words.
Vital.
Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Sentinel Group now. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now. Don't wait.
Have you or a loved one suffered complications after uterine surgery from the use of a power morcellator? If so, call the Sentinel Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The FDA estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing a myomectomy or hysterectomy have unsuspected sarcoma or cancer in the uterus. The Sentinel Group's experienced network of attorneys have years of experience fighting big medical companies and is ready to fight for you. So if you've developed uterine cancer, call the Sentinel Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Fiesta Motors. Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there. Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
We are back. This is Double Talk on the Las Cruces channel.
Yes, the Las Cruces
Comcast
channel.
98.
Yes, which you know because you have a TV.
Because you're watching us right there on that
Unless
channel.
you're watching us on YouTube and you do have Comcast, then you would know to switch us on Saturday morning at 11, almost every week, every day of every week of the year.
Now, you know, every town across America has police brutality. We know that.
It seems that way.
We see it.
No, I mean,
We're comfortable with it.
We're
Go on.
comfortable with it. I'm glad you're not a commentator. Yes,
And-
but keep going. I
And,
like this.
and so
Where are
Las
you going
Cruces
here?
is no different. We have our, here you see two police officers at the Las Cruces holding cell in the police station itself.
It's their own camera.
Beating the crap out of poor Mr. Flynn, who was under arrest and in the holding cell awaiting
or Flynn's his first name.
transport.
I'm not sure.
And so they didn't like his attitude. So they thought they'd give him a can of whoop ass.
Which they did, but yeah, I mean these are stagnant pictures. I mean they threw him against the wall. It's all in video.
Well, they
This
broke
is
his
just-
jaw. They gave him
I
a
think they just gave him a concussion.
They broke his
like
arm.
like no kid in high school football has never had a concussion. You know what? That's not a big deal.
That's
All
true,
those-
but you're not supposed to do it in police custody. So he's suing the city for $12 million, and the police officers, of course, were fired, and they are
Which
now
is good.
going to trial. They've pleaded not guilty.
Which is what you plead.
How do you plead not guilty when the camera shows you doing the very thing you're accused of doing?
Just because you're seen doing it doesn't mean you're guilty of it. You know, seeing is deceiving.
Oh,
See, you ever hear
they
that
could be
phrase?
slipping on banana peels.
Did you ever hear that? Yeah, they protect
Protect
themselves.
themselves from a man who's handcuffed.
Yes. He
Yeah.
kept coming at them. You know what? Maybe they showed the video in reverse. He was coming at them. They weren't throwing him against the wall. He was bouncing off the wall into them. So see?
So the
Seeing
moral
is deceiving.
moral of the story is don't taunt the police officers in Las Cruces. They're too insecure to deal with it.
You've done this many. You don't go nanny, nanny, boo, boo. You don't taunt them that
You don't
way?
taunt insecure bully boys with a sense of entitlement.
You don't say, go have another donut, big boy. You leave me alone. Don't you have more donuts to follow than whether or not I'm, drinking? Or
What?
beating up my girlfriend or something?
Well, he was
That's what
under
they do.
arrest for an alleged crime.
Yes.
That's
That's how most people get there.
So that's all you do. You arrest the man and you put him in jail.
Oh, he's alleged, but you think it's not right for them to say they can plead innocent. He's pleading innocent, which it means alleged.
Everybody
this
pled
is,
innocent.
This is an alleged crime, him being a dodgeball.
That's true.
So
Until they're found guilty of it, they are presumed innocent.
That's always
unlike
exciting.
they presumed him to be.
what were we talking about? Oh, we finished one guy, the
So now
Leonard
the-
Cavillo, yeah, Flynn. Oh, we're on to the
Merchant of
artistic
Venice.
life.
Yes.
You know, that was a big argument too. I mean, that play is about people arguing
Well,
in court.
there's a new theater company in town called the Doniana Repertory Theater,
Why, that would spell dart.
DART, and they're doing their premiere production right now of William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice.
Is that one of his important plays?
It is.
Is that a comedy?
It actually is. Well, there is comedy, but it's a drama.
It's pretty.
And it's actually a tragedy, too.
It's more a tragedy.
It's controversial because it does include religious intolerance. It's Christian against Jew.
Nope. Is it?
It is?
Really?
Oh, yes. But some of the most famous lines from Shakespeare come from this very play. You've heard the term a pound of flesh.
Yes, but
comes
nobody
from this
knows what it
play.
means, but it actually is verbatim.
Come see the play, you'll see what a pound of flesh means.
And Venice was the beginning of the word ghetto, because Jews lived in the section of Venice called ghetto. And then when Jews would move to different cities, they'd call it a ghetto, because it was a compound of a certain type of person.
You've heard the term the quality of mercy is not strained?
No.
That comes from this play.
No. Most of the things I've heard are from Hamlet.
You've heard
That's
of
the big quote one.
Well, you've heard of the term, what they call a person who lends money at a high rate, they call him a Shylock.
Is-
he's a
they actually
Shylock.
use that.
Well, the lead
Or a
character,
usurer is a Shylock.
is named Shylock in this play. And of course, one of the most famous speeches in all of Shakespeare, in fact, all of English history,
Yes,
literature,
what would that be? I'd like to hear what you
is
think is
in
the
this
most.
play, where Shylock says,
Am I not flesh? Do I not bleed?
do we not
That's
have
a good one.
eyes? Do we? Yes, if
Well,
you prick us, do we not bleed?
the most famous is to be or not to be. That's easy one to remember.
Well, that's the most famous, but this is one of the.
This is one
probably
of the
second
more
most.
famous.
Right.
No, the second most is you will be saying you were here at Agincourt.
Richard Henry V.
Yes, that's the most famous.
Well, this is
It's
I
a
don't
good
know,
one.
person-
They're all good. Algernon Damasus.
Damasus playing Shylock. Anyway, this is.
You're playing what?
I'm playing Prince of Avalon, and I mean Prince of Aragon,
Yes.
and I'm playing Solanio also.
Well, that's good.
So,
So you have another job other than this. That's
so
good.
opening night is on next Thursday.
Yes.
It runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week at the Las Cruces Community Theater. There are then other productions. We're doing 2 outdoor productions here on Las Cruces.
We'll let you know next week, right?
We're doing 2 in Deming, 2 or 3 in El Paso. So we're on the road.
Yes, that's good. Well, that's art. And in fact, I think that's the only plays that are going on now.
It is the only play
So
right now. This
everybody's
summer.
taking their hiatus.
Now, you know, I went to buy something the other day, yesterday, and the new sales tax had kicked in.
Oh, July 1st.
Yes, we have a brand new sales tax.
We have a bifurcated sales tax.
Yeah.
We get hit by the county tax, and we also get hit by, I could show my other hand, but it's
The city.
hidden. The city tax. And when you live here, we're getting hit by both taxes. It's an overlapping tax. When the city did the tax, they must have forgotten that they're going to get hit by the county
Aren't
tax.
we the highest tax city in the
Could it-
States?
We are now the highest tax. Yes, there I am. Get hit by getting hit by tax. Ouch. Oh, Mark, a penny for your thoughts.
Oh,
There, it hurts.
yeah.
Yes, our thoughts, and also, one of our major political people that we know, Bob Libby, he's been trying to get the city council to admit their mistake that allows us to be double taxed.
yes.
I don't know, it might be working. He wrote a nasty letter to Mr. Miyagishima.
I haven't seen anything in the paper he might have written.
Yeah, well, it takes about a week.
I see. That's true. Well, I went to buy something the other day. It was on July 1st. I walked in. It was
Great.
an
Isn't this
item
how this started?
for $3.99. Normally, the tax on that would be 24 cents. Now it's 26 cents. Yeah, only 2 cents, but only for a $3.99 item. You buy a
That's
car,
true.
you buy a house, you buy a boat. Imagine the tax increase.
I don't think houses have sales tax.
That's true. They don't.
So, and
Neither do cars.
Cars have car taxes.
They don't have cars.
So,
tax.
if you're hungry, you don't pay tax on food, and in fact, that's
Or medicine.
That's this tax makes up for the fact that we don't pay taxes on food, which would be a regressive tax, because it would mean that poor people get stuck paying a tax more than they would make.
You actually can pay. You do pay tax on food if it's prepared food.
If it's prepared food, if you're in a restaurant.
No,
but if you're
in the grocery store and you buy
a
prepared chicken, a cooked chicken.
Really?
Yes, you pay tax on that. Oh yes, you buy a thing of potato salad. You pay tax on that because they made it. It's value added.
Potato salad.
In the deli.
I will have to check, since this is the season of potato salad.
Oh.
I don't want to start paying the potato salad tax. That's what they should call
Well,
it.
there's also a coleslaw tax. Don't forget that.
Is there a sauerkraut tax?
They probably, well.
No, sauerkraut is fermented.
Only if it's been prepared.
Oh, in the store.
In the store.
In the store. So your restaurant becomes a...
if you buy a hot dog that's already made, you pay tax.
Your supermarket becomes a restaurant. So if you go to Sam's Club, buy a hot dog, and then you got that. Okay, we're going to move
Donald
on
Trump
here.
is in the news, you know.
Speaking of penny pinchers,
Yes.
he doesn't have to be, does he? Because he's already commented that he doesn't need your money in this election, so he won't be asking you for money.
That's good.
Because he's got enough money to win his own election, as do the Koch brothers.
So anyway, he's in trouble because, you know, he made disparaging remarks about Mexican or illegal immigrants from Mexico. So if you wanted to buy a Donald Trump suit at Macy's, you could probably pick one up real cheap right now.
You're alluding to the fact that Macy's has dropped their Donald Trump line, as has NBC and Univision dropped the showing of the Miss Universe and Miss
USA pageant.
USA.
But you know what's
Miss
ironic?
America. Could
What's
be
ironic
USA.
about the Donald Trump suits is they're made in Mexico.
That's really funny. Yes, but they come here to rape people.
Yes.
There they don't. So it's kind of interesting, you know, he says we are hurting these beautiful young women because they've trained and they spent a lot of money to get ready for
Doesn't mean
this.
the pageant's not going to happen.
The pageant's going to happen. It's not going to be televised. And where do they get money from except advertising on their television shows?
Well, it'll be on the internet.
Oh yeah, they make a lot of money there. You know, for a couple million views. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But Donald Trump, he was a 13th contender to throw his hat in the ring.
Do we know where Donald Trump stands on gay marriage?
He's against it.
Really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, he hasn't come out and said what he's for.
Anyway, let's talk about what things could be for. Gay marriage is here, so like it
or as they call it, marriage.
Yes, and it is equal. I mean, if you admit that people who are gay are real people, and I admit that.
Are you a real person?
Both ways, yes.
Well, you're gay and
Yes, I am fine with either one. If they want to marry, they should be allowed to. They exist. You cannot deny their existence. Therefore, they want to do that.
They should have the opportunity to get divorced just like everybody else. Now, marijuana has been legalized now in Oregon as well.
And also medically legal in Minnesota. And next week, the powers be with us, we will have a show on gin. Gin tasting. We have a number of gins we're going to be tasting.
Look, there's Dingle gin.
Dingle. It's made in Dingle, Ireland. People think gin comes from England.
Not all over.
All over.
Even America.
Yes, and we're going to go have some right now.
We are?
Yes. No, we're not.
I'm ready for a martini.
Okay.
That's it for this week's show. Thank you very much for joining us on Double Talk.
See you next week.